Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
Hello everyone. In my latest column for The Print, I write about China's tool of choice, which is cyber warfare to secure proprietary intellectual property and personal data of millions of people around the world. This tool that China has been working on developing and enhancing since 2000s has now been used against companies like Microsoft and other major tech companies around the world in a major hack against the Microsoft Exchange platform. China was able to secure large amount of data of users who have used Microsoft Exchange. It is said that China has been able to secure 80% of the personal data of US citizens, and China is currently working on securing the remaining 20% data of the American citizens. This means that China has deep insights into the American people and the state, and they can weaponize that data against the American state whenever required. Attributing cyber attack to a certain player or a country is a difficult task, because the code can be modified to look like it is coming from a certain location, but the ultimate player might be hiding behind a series of IP addresses and might be editing the code to confuse people. So that is part of the cyber warfare, but the experts who closely watch China's capabilities are warning us that China has developed a certain level of capability, though it is not at par with the US, according to some of the expert opinion by IISS, which is one of the major international affairs institutions that prepares a report on cyber capabilities. There are two very interesting cases which we should look at if we want to understand China's cyber capability. The first one is attack on India's Mumbai power grid. The story in New York Times claims that Chinese hackers were able to implant an exploit or a code which was able to shut down the electricity of the Mumbai city area, which was at the height of the conflict in eastern Ladakh. That is one interesting case. The other one is the case of Canadian telecommunications giant called Nortel, which used to make the biggest chunk of the telecommunication networking equipment back in 2000s, and that company disappeared after a hack which originated from Shanghai, and that hack got access to the IP of the company and the major technology that the company had developed over the years. And the fall of Nortel can be traced with the rise of Huawei, which is a Chinese company, and there is extensive reporting on the fact that there are some of the networking equipment which was developed by Nortel, and that looks very similar to what Huawei came up with. So Huawei, of course, denies the allegation made by Nortel and other companies, but they have in the past settled certain cases which were around IP theft, and they had to pay a heavy fee for securing proprietary intellectual property. China's early foray into the cyber world and hacking world was marked by sloppy attempts by the PLA, the People's Liberation Army, to access networks by adding exploits to the Microsoft documents or email. But those sloppy attempts were caught by Western agencies and were highlighted in various stories up until the time Xi Jinping came to power, and he moved that power from PLA to MSS, which is the External Intelligence Agency of China, the Ministry of State Security. And that agency now has been leading a large operation where they create new companies and recruit talent from across China, from the universities. There is one case which is associated with a company in Hainan. This company was highlighted by the FBI as working for one of the bureaus of MSS in Hainan, and this company recruited talent from the local university and trained them to infiltrate networks and access proprietary intellectual property which was sitting in the US and around the world. This indictment is available on the internet and you can read about that. So there are certain instances where we can see this capability continues to improve, and China is willing to use all means possible